What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Let me tell you something. I got a very special person that's in here. And let me tell you why it's special. Because very rarely, up to this point, have I had the opportunity to interview somebody from the city, right? Somebody from Detroit. But also on top of that, I think that she's unique in her perspective towards a lot of things. I want to introduce you guys to Randy. What's up, Randy?
Hey, Anton, how are you?
I'm chilling. I'm slow motion. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm gonna pick your brain on a lot of different things,
Okay.
um, all across the board. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to transition because I want to get your thoughts on everything that's happening within the city,
Mhm.
relationships,
Mhm.
everything. So how you feel today?
I feel good. I felt a little sweaty in my hands, but I feel good.
Why you feel sweaty in your
I
hands?
always feel sweaty in my hands. I have overactive sweat glands.
You always on tour.
I am.
You spend a lot of time on the road.
I do.
How do you like that?
I love it. I
Do
love
you
it.
really?
I do. I love it right now. I don't like having to be away from my kids.
Mhm.
That's kind of the heavy part. But as far as like just getting out of the city and getting to see different spaces and experience different people and different energy, it's next level.
What do you think about the energy surrounding the city right now? As far as it seems like, well, let me preface this a couple different ways. It seems like everybody is kind of taken to the vibe of what the city is, and that they kind of stealing a lot of our ways and our flows and our style and all of that. But then
Yeah.
on top of that, it bring a lot of visibility, especially with the Lions winning and stuff like that. What do you
Mm.
think about that?
I just feel like you ever seen that video of Lil Boosie daughter when he got out of jail and
Yeah,
she was like, "I told y'all, I
yeah, yeah,
told y'all." That's how I feel. I told y'all Detroit was it. I feel like I stayed at home, held it down. You
yeah,
feel me?
yeah.
Like I just started touring last year, but if you know my background, you know I had a internet radio station here for 9 or 10 years and think about bringing it back. Like literally deemed the queen of New Detroit.
Hmm.
You feel me? That's not a name I gave myself. So I've always seen Detroit as how the rest of the world is seeing it now. I'm just excited that they seeing it.
I don't know why you wouldn't bring it back.
I'm you know
Put the visual to it.
I'm yeah that's it. Bro,
Yeah,
put the visual to it. It'll make the most sense that way.
yeah. I think you should bring it back because I think that you represent the city really well. You put on, you talk about it. I think that you are a good reflection of what we are because I think that a lot of people throughout the years, which I don't really care about it or I never really cared about it, but I think a lot of people throughout the years kind of painted us with a broad brush. They thought that it was only one thing when in reality it's a lot of us here that decided to stay in the city and then we didn't leave. I know a lot of people ran down to Atlanta and
LA.
Houston and LA and a
Yeah.
lot of places like that. But it's a lot of people that's just kind of holding it down and staying here. What do you think
Yeah.
about that now?
They not only did they paint us with a broad brush, they painted us with a dirty broad
Yeah, they
brush.
did.
Like
You're 100%
like
right.
the misconceptions that I've heard about people that's from the city, it's like, bro, we don't. In fact, I'm gonna let you think that just so
Yeah.
you the respect stays there. That's absolutely okay. I think that Detroit is very much so a city that's a lot like my personality and a lot
Yeah.
like me as a person. Misunderstood.
You
Um,
think we misunderstood?
yeah, absolutely. I think that the idea, like whenever I used to tell people I was from Detroit, now it's lit because of the BMF series
Yeah.
and Lions and all that stuff. But when I used to tell people I'm from Detroit, they're like, "Oh, is it really that bad? You ever seen somebody get shot?" And like,
Yeah.
like yeah, I have, but it ain't that bad, big dog.
Yeah, right, right,
Like
right.
we pretty decent people. Like Detroiters are welcoming, are loving for real. Like
Mhm.
we authentic. Like I rock with us.
Yeah, I love us too. Cause I think that during the pandemic, that was probably the most shaky time for me and deciding whether or not I wanted to like spend the majority of my time outside the city or not.
That's
As
real.
far as like moving somewhere, simply because it was just locked down.
Yeah.
And then when I was in Florida, because I had went down there and lived for a little while, everything was completely open. But I feel like this is just one of the most unique places because it's not too big, it's not too small.
Yeah.
We got our own culture, and I just think that it's a dope place to be. But then at the same time, I'm kind of reserved about it because I kind of just like the fact that we are who we are, and I don't really want a whole lot of people to know how dope we are.
I can't lie. I definitely be wanting to gatekeep some stuff.
Yeah,
Like like the boss up. Oh, dog.
Yeah, that's happening everywhere.
When dog hit the boss up, when he scored that touchdown, like I
Yeah.
wanted to jump through the screen on him. I can't lie. Like I wanted to jump through the screen on him. But like little stuff like that, I do feel like Detroiters got to, like, real Detroiters got to gatekeep for sure. We can't
Yeah.
we can't be letting everybody boss up out here.
Do you think that I'm gonna pivot for a minute because I
Okay.
just kind of thought about something. What do you think about kind of like the gentrification of it? Because it's kind of mixed. It's kind of mixed, right?
Yeah.
And that what people don't know is that when you down here and in a lot of these places, it ain't just us that look like us that's down here,
Nah.
right? I mean, sometimes we probably the minority in a lot of
In
situations than
most
we are the
places now.
majority. What do you think about that? Like, do you have mixed feelings with it? Are you cool with it? What do you think about that in general?
I think that question is funny because I had our homegirl on my show,
Yeah.
and I acted like I was asking her that question.
Oh, really?
And she was like, "Whoa, wait."
Yeah, yeah.
But and I mentioned it in my "I'm from Detroit" video, my first one. And I
I
said,
seen it.
of course I'm uncomfortable down saying, "Hey, how's it going?" You got
Yeah, I
to
seen
code,
you
you
do
got to
that. Yeah,
code switch a
because
little
you
bit.
did like 3 parts, I think.
Yeah, so far I did like 5. I'm gonna keep it going.
Oh,
I
you
love
did
it.
5?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah, I
keep it
seen it up
going.
to
But
3.
I understand that we're playing the game right now.
Yep.
And a part of that's a part of the game. I think it's crappy that lifelong Detroiters are being put out their homes. I think it's crappy that people of color, specifically black people, are being affected by gentrification. Um, but in revitalizing Detroit,
Yeah.
that's a part of the game. So I really think, for us, the best thing we can do is to make sure our ducks are in order.
Mm.
Make sure if you don't have the money to pay your property taxes, you're going down there to see Mr. Sabri and his people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? To just ignoring the issue is not going to fix the issue. So if you find yourself in that type of situation, do what you need to do to fix it, because they snatching houses for no reason, for real, for real.
Yeah, of course they are. And it's crazy because it was just like just a few years ago to see the appreciation in property values and properties themselves based off of the fact that it's a lot of money that's flowing through here.
Yep.
It's pretty insane.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It really goes to show you that things are intentional.
Of course it
It
is.
goes to show you that the setup, the box that we're put in as people is very much so intentional. It's a cage. It's an on purpose cage. With that being said, like you just said, with the property values going up, everybody's getting excited about that. But one thing they're not thinking about for real is that also means your property taxes are going to go up. So if you're having a hard time paying those taxes now, we know what that looks like long term.
Yep.
So back to what I just said a couple seconds ago. Make sure you holler in that Mr. Sabri
Yep.
and the Wayne County Treasurer Office, or whoever you need to talk to, the property people, and make sure you got your ducks in order to keep your house.
Yep. I was saying you. I'm gonna pivot for a minute. I like to jump around.
Listen, I'm with the pivot. I love it.
Yeah, I see. I was seeing some of the stuff of you online, and I try to limit when I know that you come into the studio. I try to limit the amount of content that I take in because I don't want to be influenced by it, and I kind of like want to discover some stuff about you myself, right? So I'll figure that out as I go. But you be putting pressure on people when you be on them panels, and
Oh,
when
yeah.
you don't be messing around.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna show up as Detroit 100% every time, every time. And you know what? I really wish let the record also show. I really be smiling and laughing a lot on the panels.
Yeah.
That's just not the clips that get made.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We know how it go. That's not the stuff that
let
you
the
want to get
record
the views
show.
from. Yeah,
Let the record show. I really be happy go lucky until you hit a nerve or you play in my face. So yeah, we really be cool until it's like that heated conversation, and then I be mad at myself afterwards. Like, why you let him get you like that?
yeah.
It's okay. It's all right.
Do you think that content creation is because I say that most people don't know what they're getting into when they get into content creation in a general sense, right? Because I don't think that they realize that it's going to be people that love you, but it's going to be people that hate you. They're going to want to know where you live at. They're going to be looking you up. They're going to be trying to research you. Would you advise, let's just say you got this person or this girl or whatever, this young girl, she 20, 21, 22, and she want to get into content creation. What advice would you give her, and would you advise for her to do that?
I would. My best advice to that person would probably be, I would give them a test first, and that test would be if they could take correction. Because something that I struggled with for a long time is taking correction because my mom and my dad didn't let people correct me when I was a kid. My mom and dad barely corrected me when I was a kid. I
You
was
was probably
spoiled.
the yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And it was
Daddy's girl,
it was
all
other
of that.
dynamics too that played into that. So I would try to test to see if they can take being corrected. Most times, people that cannot take being corrected are not ready for this space. This space requires you to not only take a step back out of your own perspective and to look at other people's perspectives, but it also requires you to accept when you're wrong, forcefully most times,
Yep.
and accept the fact that regardless of if you're right, you're wrong, no matter how you deliver it, some people is just not gonna rock with you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep. That's a fact.
So
That's a fact.
I would really just I would set up the test if it was somebody that I rocked with and I was cool with for real. I would set up the test to see if they were in a space where they were ready, and if they're not in the space that's ready, I still wouldn't discourage them because if we being a buck, I've been in this space since I was 18. I'm 34, almost 35, and I'm just now grasping this in the last 12 months.
Yep.
If we're being honest, all the conversation that we had prior to recording, I wouldn't have been ready to meet you and your wife before last year.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Really?
I don't feel like so.
Why you say that?
Because I wasn't in a space where I could be corrected. I wasn't in a space where I could accept being corrected. I wasn't in a space where I could accept, even just sit comfortably with knowing that people are hell bent on not agreeing with me.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that now. That type of stuff used to disrupt my energy. My husband would tell you, like, it'd throw my energy off completely. If my energy is thrown off, it's not because of nothing that happened online.
Yeah.
And prior to probably about last year, that wasn't going. That wasn't.
It was difficult for me earlier, a few years ago, I would say. Probably about 4 years ago, because that's when I started. My journey online was different because I was documenting my life and I was using it as leverage to continue to do what it is that I wanted to do from a corporate perspective. And it just kind of took off and took on a life of its own, right? So a lot of my journey was documenting what it was being a father,
Okay.
bringing her to work with me. But I was also documenting, like, how to be successful in certain things and real estate. And, I was showing my bank accounts and all of that stuff, right? Just because I'm a very transparent person and I still do that today. But what I didn't realize was that once it really took off, and based off of some of the people that I was associated with online sometimes, man, people was trying to find out where my daughter was going to school. And I was ready to crash out at different points. You know what I'm saying? That's how it took me a minute to adjust to that, because I realized that I couldn't fight everybody online.
So I didn't have to adjust to that part because I was already raised to be very secretive in regards to certain things. Because my mom and my dad is like one of the most OG people you'll ever
Yeah,
meet.
yeah.
So when it came to posting my house or posting schools or even taking the same route home or even honestly getting mail to my house, I
Yep.
don't have to worry about that because I already was prepared for that.
I had to switch up.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even when I get DoorDash deliveries, I be getting them under complete different names. My Amazon is under a whole different names. Like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm 2 steps ahead of that. Between my husband and my dad, we always two steps ahead of protecting ourselves. Like even I had a friend one time where it was almost an argument because she took a picture standing outside of my house.
Yep.
And she
People don't
wanted
get that.
if
They
you're
don't
not
they
in
don't
it,
get that.
she
Yep.
wanted to post a picture and she posted the picture and I'm like, hey, I need you to take that down.
Yep.
Because people can put two and two together easily that you are at my house, that's outside of my house, and you don't have to worry about somebody possibly finding your house. I do. And how my anxiety is set up, I'm gonna be sitting at this door every night just in
No, that's
case.
real.
You know
That's
what I'm
real.
saying? So people that aren't inside of the situation probably don't think about it. But honestly, to your viewers, think about what y'all posting on social media. Posting the kids' school, tagging every location. Even like for homecomings and proms, and you guys are posting, and it's like outside the house with the street address in it. Y'all got to think smarter than that because you might not be in that lifestyle, and you might not be moving crazy or foul, but somebody close to you might be, and you might be the one that's findable because of them.
Yep. And it's funny because I had to take more of a street approach.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't just, hey, I ain't involved in nothing street related right now, so I ain't got to worry about it. Now I was starting to think of, man, listen, we to move. I done switched up my addresses. I don't let nobody take pictures in certain places. And again, a lot of times they don't get it because they not in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like an uncomfortable conversation sometimes that you got to have with people simply because they don't know.
Yeah.
And they don't know that it be people that catch every single thing that you do.
And it's people that's waiting.
And they
for
waiting.
That. Yeah.
It's people that done lost their life like that though.
Yeah. Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke
Exactly.
literally posted.
Yep.
He accidentally
Yep.
posted his street address in one of his pictures, and that's how they found where he was staying at.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm sure that was probably on his head regardless, but that was definitely the probably the icing on the cake for them. Like people that's not in it don't think about it, and the best thing for people like us is to make sure that people that are within our village are considerate.
Yeah.
And even if they don't understand it, it's not something for you to understand. Just consider it and
Yeah.
consider me in this moment. Consider how I feel. Consider the fact that this is my space that I'm allowing you to be in, and you're going to respect my boundaries or you won't be here.
Yep. I even stopped posting like certain stuff on my stories when I'm in certain spaces until after I left.
Oh yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, no, I'm not posting anything until I'm gone.
But that wasn't nothing that I thought about when I first started getting into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. See that being a buck with you, I thought about all that before I got into it. My name not Randi Rosario.
Yeah, that's what's up. But here's
Even
the
before
thing.
I got married,
I came into it.
Rosario's a made up name that I pulled out of thin air, bro.
But I came into it like with my real name. Cause see, my thing was, all right, look, I was always looking at the long term, right? And when I was studying people, I was studying the people that wasn't even in certain spaces, right? I was studying like the financial people, the Dave Ramseys and all of these type of people, right? So when I was looking at them, I said, oh, okay, this is how they market themselves. They use their real name. When people look me up, I want them to find me based off of who it is that I am, right? And boy, oh boy, man, they start trying to search court records and shit. And I'm like, what the
You can
fuck
search
is
a court
going
record
on?
for Randi Rosario if you want to. That's like searching a court record for Minnie Mouse.
No,
baby.
but that's smart. That's smart as hell.
That really goes back to show you how long I've been doing this and how long I've wanted to be who I am today. I came up with the name Randi Rosario when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Because when I was in high school, our teachers put so much emphasis on, hey, when you guys are on social media, when you're on that Facebook and on that MySpace, remember, once you post it, you post it. If a job is looking for you, they're going to be able to find you. So my first name is Randi.
Yeah.
Y'all all know my last name now because I have my husband's last name, Maples. But Rosario is literally a name that I put out of nowhere. My Hispanic, my Caribbean Latina family name is Gomez.
Yeah.
So Rosario, it just sounded good, Randi Rosario.
Well, I mean, once you get to a certain level, then eventually somebody, because I realize there's people from high school that be watching and they be like, oh man, that's Anton. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of came with the territory.
Even
but
that
earlier,
though, that I had people. So I experienced a big loss in 2011. I had people from high school that sent me cards and flowers
that's crazy.
to Randi Rosario, and
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
cool, we gonna take it and run with it. And I've never looked back on it. Like what I'm doing right now and what I'm on right now is what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. Is it weird if somebody like come up to you when they, because it seemed like you get to the point to where, Rita, you can turn the heat up a little bit if you cold. Because I'm gonna edit it. This all gonna be edited anyway,
That's
so
okay.
we can pivot whenever we want. Is it weird because sometimes I'll give you an example. I've shared so much of my life, especially early in my life, on this, that people will be calling her by the nickname that I'll call her when I'm live streaming.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be looking like, hey, hold on. What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is it
Little
weird?
stuff like that.
Is it weird when you like, when people notice you in life and maybe they call you something that's different than what it is that you identify as, you know, the Randi Rosario online, or they call you something different?
No, I'm gonna tell you. Actually, because I've introduced different names in different spaces.
Yeah.
I actually like it. So like when I was focused on being an artist, I used to have a rap group, and then I had a pop rock band with my brothers. My name is Rosie. So if someone was to approach me right now, like, "What up, Rosie?"
So you know where they coming
exactly
from.
where I know you
Yeah,
from.
that makes sense.
So it don't really bother. I more so be thrown off with the fact that people actually recognize me off social media. Like that'd be a doozy for me.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like that really, I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know if it's imposter syndrome. I don't know if it's the fact that I just try to keep these worlds separate in my head. I don't know. I really do not know what it is, but I was literally so last time we came home, JT went to get the car, and he was like, "Are you sure you're good at
Chilling
getting the
out.
luggage and sitting
Yeah.
right here for a second?" It was just one bag, so I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And when I went to grab the bag, this guy was like, what did he say? I had my hoodie on and I had my glasses on. So in my mind, yeah, you can't
Oh no
recognize
no no!
me.
You look just like you. You
He
are
said,
not fooling nobody.
obviously.
She
So
ain't
this
fooling nobody.
I didn't know. So listen, I went to grab my bag and the guy went to help me and he looked at me. He said, I said, shh. He's like, I follow you on Instagram. I said, shh, we're not doing that. I said, I'm almost out. I'm almost out. We're not doing that today. We're
Yeah.
not doing that today.
Yeah.
He was like, man, you keep doing what you're doing. You represent for the city. I said, thank you so much, good brother. And I want to set my butt down.
Yeah.
I really be so like, y'all recognize me off that little picture?
Yep.
That's that's crazy to me.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
And then I just be like y'all really be looking at the videos because I think maybe it's really humbling. Like it really
It
is. For me,
is.
I think that's really what it is. It just be like wow, like I see the numbers, I see the comments, I see the interactions, but to see that it flows over into the real world, it just be like, whoa.
You got a cheat code because you a girl though.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah,
Guys got to work 10 times harder on content than women
I can
do.
see that.
100%.
I can see that. I'm not no pushback.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality of it. Like,
I can 100% see that. But I also say that my approach is a little bit different.
well, you just
So I
authentically you though.
yeah, I get online with no wig on,
But
no makeup
I
on.
don't think I don't think that matters to guys though, or even to women. I think
No,
that
it
y'all get
definitely
so
don't.
much. I think that a lot of women look for themselves in y'all. Like they look
Absolutely.
for the flaws make y'all bigger, or what you would perceive as a flaw
That's
would
real
make
because
you
they
even
can
more
identify
relatable.
with it. I think that actually is why the podcast that I'm a part of is so successful. I
Yeah.
think that people see themselves and each person is almost like a different character.
Yep.
And like for me personally, it's kind of like how when you say like, oh, you be eating them up on the clip. When they come to the live events and the girls be like, I can guarantee you the vast majority of the women that come talk to me at the events be like, I love when you be eating them up. And I be like, bro, I be saying some good stuff that's not
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
not yelling, when I'm smiling and having a
But
good
it ain't
time.
intentional. It's just who you authentically are and what your thoughts are, though.
Yeah, I be wanting them to marinate on the thoughts when I'm not yelling. But it's like y'all only listen when I'm yelling, so I might as well yell at y'all.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think is the biggest problem, or if you had to pinpoint a couple different things that's major problems? Because I know I'm putting you on the spot.
That's
So,
cool.
the biggest problem with relationships in general today, what would you say that the biggest problem is, or the biggest thing that you see currently in the culture? What do you think some of the biggest problems are?
People being too focused on what that person house is doing and what that person house is doing and what that person house is doing, opposed to focusing on their household and doing what's best for that household. For example, the conversation constantly of, oh, half and half is roommates. The conversation of constantly, is it sassy for a man to do this? Like it's like we are in a space of being happy with trigger words and then pointing the finger and putting each other down. And I think it's whack. I think it's super whack. I think that we have to figure out figure out a way to focus on ourselves and our own partner and communicate with that person and build something with that person that matters. And no one else has to understand it but you two.
That's true. That's true. I think that it's in a general sense, I think it's a basic foundation of what you look for or what people need to be sourcing for as far as who it is that they're gonna be in a and whatever it is that they're gonna be with them with. But I think that then you kind of modify it to fit whatever it is that y'all got going on in y'all household when that's what I'm saying, when that's your person
Yeah.
or whenever it is that you find your person. What do you think is the biggest thing? All right, let me separate it between men and women. What do you think is the biggest thing with women? The biggest complaint that women are having today with regard to relationships that you see?
Um,
Like what are the things that women are most concerned about? And it don't even have to be about men, but it could be about relationships or their current situation.
I won't say all women, but I think a lot of women are delusional right now because of social media. And I think that the requirements and the goalpost keeps getting moved.
What do you mean by delusional?
I think Real Housewives of Atlanta and the Real Housewives franchise has really messed up a lot of these women heads.
Yeah, I could see that.
Realistically, we don't live in a time of we not everybody not rich. Everybody not up right now.
Talk about that shit right there.
Actually, most people are down right now. And
I think so.
only thing is up is inflation, the price of rent, the price of food, the price of gas, the price of buying anything. So the idea that um you're going to be able to come to this situation and just get princess treatment and you can just sit in the house and just polish your nails all day and just curl your hair is insanity to me. Like the idea that you don't have to be a independent individual before coming to a relationship is delusional to
Yeah.
me. And the idea that you think you can put a man down for not providing for you what you can't provide for yourself is super delulu to me.
Yeah, I see a lot of that.
And that happens often. So I think, but now that's the unhealthy side of it. If we go
Okay.
to the healthy side of it,
Okay.
I think that a big complaint is just this adjustment that we're making in society. Period. Right now, we're as people, we're really having to make adjustments because in the past 40 years, we've made adjustments of being in the workplace more, women becoming entrepreneurs more, getting degrees and things like that. So now we're having to find some type of balance because it was a movement of overly independent and we don't need y'all dudes for nothing. And now we're having to figure out that balance of
Yeah.
how do we say it's okay for us to have power, it's okay for us to make this money, have our degrees and stand strong on that, but still be submissive and still be good partners and not necessarily soft, but the woman that you said you were gonna be to show up in your relationship.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of disconnect, and I don't blame women or men for that. I blame the fact that we didn't have a lot of us did not have mentors in that lane. A lot of us don't come from two parent households.
Yeah.
I do, fortunately. I got to see a lot of love, but I know that a lot of people did not get that placed into their foundation. So it's muddy waters for everybody, for men and women. And I think the more we have the real conversation of the fact that it's difficult for both, I think the more we have those conversations versus making it a man versus women conversation, I think that's how we find solutions to it. We find solutions by making it a conversation that helps everybody and really puts it on the floor versus oh, you a man so da 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 da, or you a woman so da 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 da. I think that's backwards.
Do you think that, with that being said, because you said something that was interesting, you said that a lot of us don't come from environments or two parent households or, with mentors or even a family or a community that helped shape who you are, as far as how you see what healthy looks like in a relationship, right? Do you think that in a general sense, previous generations kind of failed us in that way?
I think, in a general sense, most of them did the best with what they had, and I think that's a mindset that I'm going to have for me because I know for a fact my mom and dad did the best
Nope,
they did.
nope, I'm not gonna let you do it. Because
It
now
is.
you using your own personal
That's what I
experience.
know. That's why I said I can't paint
Nope,
with that broad of a
nope.
brush because
You got to paint what, because I want you to. I need you to speak to the
I
majority
think
now.
no,
'Cause
yeah,
see, you.
no, but
I'm
that's
gonna
just it.
tell
I'm,
you
I'm
why
gonna
you.
say I know I'm the exception to the rule. I was about to say that. I
No,
know.
okay. So now
I
that you
know
know
I'm
you're
the
exception,
exception.
you got to speak. Because see, I'm the
Nah,
exception
but
too, right?
yeah, okay. So how many exceptions is it? Goddamn it!
No, it's not a lot though, because it seemed like a lot of people was raised in crazy households or
No, they
crazy
were.
environments. But even when they had two parents, it didn't necessarily translate into to it being healthy.
Yeah. Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, though, the one thing that I know, I'll give you an example, right? Because I got a 15-year-old daughter. I only got one daughter or whatever. I wanted a little girl and all of that. The one thing that I know is that she didn't ask to be here. You know what I'm saying? So I have a responsibility to her to be better than I would be had she not been here, because I have to be the example of what it is that she would want to look for, as far as a man to marry. And her mother has to be an example of, what she should be like, or giving her the lessons, not just what she says, but showing her, she need to be seeing what healthy looks like.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm asking you in a general sense, outside of yourself, do you think that previous generations, if you had to give them a grade, A F failing grade all the way up through A. What would you give previous generations?
Let me say this. Let me start by saying this. I feel like I feel like you and I, when we speak about this, because we are the exception, because we come from those two parent households, I think that no matter how we break it down, we're gonna speak from a place of privilege.
I know you are, but I gotta try to push. I gotta try to push you.
I think
You
so.
know what I'm
I'll start
saying?
with that. I'll
Because
start by saying I think that no matter what, we're gonna speak from a place of privilege.
100%.
But I will say that I think that it's a lot of messed up people that was just having sex and had babies.
That is true. I agree. I agree with
I
that.
think that a lot of the times when we trying to look for these deep answers to situations, but we got to stop making it seem like 1 plus 1 don't equal 3 in some situations.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I got you.
sometimes it's not you didn't your parents weren't prepared for you because they weren't trying to have you. Sometimes you weren't raised in a loving environment or you weren't loved on properly because you were not planning. You just happened. I'm sorry to say it that way, but that's the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? So I think that of course those people experience life differently. Of course it's a little bit rougher and different because the inception conception of them is a whole different type of situation. You feel me? But yeah, I think a lot of the old generation was selfish. I think that addiction is real, and I love
Yeah,
the fact that now it's being called a disease, although it's not necessarily applied to us. But I'm not gonna get into that conversation.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think they dropped the ball for sure. I think a lot of them dropped the ball, but I think that the government made it so they wanted to drop the ball.
I agree. What do you think about feminism? I'm not. I'm not even gonna give you like a specific thing to speak about in a general sense. When you think of the word feminism, what's the first things that come to your mind?
I think about how
And I noticed you start laughing when, when I asked you that question.
cause that's funny. I think when I hear the word feminism, I think about how the initial movement tricked black women. And
We
then I
might be
think
more
about
alike than I realized.
I think that yeah, I think the initial movement tricked black women, and I think that I am big on equality, and I am big on rights, but I do think that I mean we know the racism with Susan B. Anthony. Is that still? Yeah, we know what she say. She rather give her arm than let a person of color vote. Yeah, we know all of that. So
Do you
I
think that it ultimately benefited women, or do you think that it did? Because in everything, it's gonna
I
be a
think
yin and a
that
yang.
black women was gonna thrive regardless. Period. I think that the civil rights movement was gonna make it so that black women thrived regardless. I think black women was thriving in spaces that we're keen on thriving in before the feminist movement. But I think in some ways it helped, but I think that in some ways it hurt too.
Yeah,
I do.
that yin and the yang.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Do you think that it was more help than hurt, or more hurt than help?
I think that right now, because of the climate of where we are, even when it comes to talking about relationships and things like that, I think it did more hurt because um, in a lot of situations, the oppressed become the oppressor.
That's true.
So we've seen the white man treat all of us a certain way, and then we saw black men start getting money and start treating all of us the way the white man treated us. And now women are getting money, and the first thing that you hear a lot of them saying, I gotta cuss.
You no 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 no.
Fuck
Listen,
these niggas. We
you
get
can
money.
say whatever
You
you
feel
want
me?
here.
You feel me? But
We don't censor here.
that's that mindset of the oppressor of stunting, getting money to ball on people and whatnot. Now women are doing that. So I think that before we get too deep into that mindset of, oh, we don't need no niggas, these niggas is bums, I think that we gotta take a step back and pause. It's indeed some bum niggas out here,
Of course.
for sure. But I don't think that we need to be at each other's neck the way we are. Because overall, I really think it's social media. that
I think we have
has it
to.
at war.
I think we got to go at each other neck.
I think, but we have to go at each other's neck about shit that matters.
Like what? Like what?
Honestly, arguing about or going or a woman belittling another woman for paying half of her rent in a house because that's not a man, that's a roommate, is not the shit we need to be
No,
talking
I
about.
agree with that. I
I
think,
think
but
if we're gonna go at each other's necks and we're gonna talk about stuff, let's talk to each other about how we handle each other. Let's go at each other's neck about making sure we have a good foundation. Are y'all going to church on Sundays? Are y'all receiving? Are y'all, you know, or even if it's not church on Sundays, are y'all aligned with your higher power the way you're supposed to be together? You feel me? Well, how y'all treating y'all kids? How y'all pouring into y'all kids? Can we talk about not waking your kids up, cussing them out every morning? Can we talk about, you know, pouring into your kids properly and you know, giving them positive affirmations and, you know, making sure they have a good diet, breaking those generational curses of eating poor and things like that.
yeah.
Had those arguments. Stop arguing about shit that don't matter.
Do you think that is? Because I think that if I had to put my finger on it, right, I think that one of the things that is kind of generating this disposition between men and women in a general sense. Because let me also say this: what I found is it's not just amongst us.
No.
Everybody is. I mean, all cultures, all
Yeah.
races, they all having these
Yeah, they all having these conversations.
disagreements. Yeah.
But that's because, like I said, remember initially that my initial statement, I didn't make it a black or white thing. My initial
No,
statement
I
said
agree.
men and women are all working within new territory right now. Black women are like the fastest growing class of people obtaining degrees and starting their own businesses that are successful. These are all new waters. They ain't never been like that before. So my thing is for the people that I can represent as a black person, as a black woman, I can say, hey, before we get deeper into this, the oppressed becoming the oppressor mindset, let's shift the conversation and talk about some stuff that matters. Because a lot of the stuff that we be talking about, like when we're on tour, and people come up to the mic to ask questions, and a woman might ask a question that says, you know, why men so intimidated by me because I got my degrees, or I can't find a good man. I got a good job. I got a good degree. I got my degree. You know, I own my house. I own my car. You ain't said nothing about you being a good partner.
Yeah.
You ain't said nothing about you being a good person. You ain't even mentioned the fact that you might be able to cook. You might be able to, you know, to hold the household down with him as a partner. You ain't mentioned nothing about, you know, your compatibility. Nothing of that sort. It's that you think because you have a house, a car, and some money, you win. We don't like when men approach us like that. We don't like when men approach us with, oh, I got money, I got
Yeah.
money. So what in the hell make you think a man wants you to approach him like that?
Yeah.
I think
But see,
those are the conversations that we need to be having.
but that is a part of it though, because the way that you just broke it down brought it back to square one, right? Because yeah, I agree with you 100% in that you're saying, hey, these are the type of conversations. Why we not having these type of conversations? But it then goes back to the root cause of it, right? Because in order for you to have that conversation with her, you got to hold her accountable for what she's saying, right?
Absolutely.
So you got to have both, I think. I I also think that I think a lot of guys are not used to being able to say and express how they feel.
Absolutely. I don't think that. I know that for a fact.
You think so?
I know so for 100% fact.
Why
I
you
think
say that?
that first off, I say that because two reasons. Number one, if a little boy was in here right now and fell and hurt himself and started crying, let's say it was three elders sitting here, at least two of those elders would say, big boys don't cry, toughen up. That's why. Y'all have never been given a safe space to express yourselves
Right.
from childhood.
Yeah, that's
You've
true.
been taught. You've been taught. Hey, so no, big boys don't do that. No, you don't show emotions. You don't cry. You don't cry. So here we are, as adults, dealing with people that are dysregulated, that can't get themselves back together mentally, emotionally, can't express themselves. A lot can't. And when you guys attempt to, because so many of us were big boys don't cry, big boys don't cry, big boys don't cry. So many of us don't know how to create a safe space for y'all.
Yeah.
Those are the conversations we need to be having. How do you create a safe space for your man? You create a safe space for your man by, number one, asking in the conversation, are we venting right now, or are we looking for solutions? If he's venting, know when to be quiet. Be humble enough to know when it's not your turn to speak and when it's your turn to receive the conversation, and be aware enough to know when it's time to pour into your mate.
You spitting right now. The guys is gonna love you. I don't like this. Um, no, I do. I love it. I'm just messing with you.
But listen, be clear. It'll be 5 years of us being married in May. This is
Really,
all stuff. Yes,
congratulations.
thank you. This is all stuff
Congratulations. That's what's
that.
up.
Thank you. Hey, baby.
Hold on, we're not just gonna skip past that though, because I think that we don't give the same type of energy and accolades when people are doing it successfully as we do,
When people mess up.
and we hold them
Yeah.
accountable and we beat that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That horse. So I always like to stop. And when people have successes, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a, their financial life, whether it's professionally, no matter what it is, I always like to stop and acknowledge that, because I think that that's just as important. I think you got to give just as much energy on both sides. So I'm not going to skip past that.
Thank you.
Congratulations to y'all. That is dope. I love seeing that. I love seeing when people win, man, especially y'all too. Y'all looking phenomenal.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that.
It's been work, and I will say that, and not tough work, not too much mud work. Like I will say, even like when you say that, immediately he be like, "Oh, somebody didn't cheated." Like, no, ain't been none of that. I think me growing in this space.
No, I think when you say that, that just means, listen, you was your own person and he was his own person.
And y'all became
And then,
one.
and now y'all just evolving. And even when you are together for an extended period of time, I think that what happens is you change.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the same person at
I hope
25 as you are at 35 and 35 at 45. So that's where the work comes in. But it doesn't have to be toxic.
Right.
It's just evolving.
Exactly. So for me, that has been for both of us, honestly. But I think emotionally, like I told you, if I just admitted to you that up until probably a year ago, I probably wasn't even ready to meet you and your wife, and I said we've been married for 5 years.
Yeah.
I had to do some growth, huh?
Yeah, I feel you. No, I feel you.
So I think that even being in this space and like even on the podcast, when I get to hear some of the other men's perspective on things, even about when they're talking to their girls, and it's just like, yo, just shut up sometimes so I can talk. I'm learning that and
Yeah.
applying it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I've learned so much that I feel like I actually do apply to my marriage, or even to my own personal self, that benefits my marriage. It's dope.
Yeah.
And it feels good. It feels good to know that I'm intentional with him and how I'm handling him, just like he's intentional with me about how he's handling me.
Yeah.
And I can see, it feels good to know that I can see and I can acknowledge, hey, even this conversation where it's like, okay, people are using trigger words like, oh, she's masculine or he's feminine and things like that. I wasn't able to acknowledge that before. I would be the one knee deep in the conversation, like, yeah, he over there being sassy.
What do you think about that? Because a lot of times I'll see guys or women give a perspective, and we know the common phrases, right?
Yeah.
Is who hurt you?
Yeah. Who hurt you is a good one. I love that.
Is who hurt you? Is they don't want us, they want each other, right?
That's a good one.
I'm starting to see.
Sorry, my toxic is showing.
Yeah, no. I mean,
these
I
are
hear,
all great insults. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I hear. I think that guys, like, I'm used to it, right? I could say something and because it's funny. Like, I'll go hard on guys, right? And when my guys call up, or I might be live streaming, and they'll ask a question, and I have to deep dive into it because they'll say, "Oh man, I had to leave her," or whatever, so on and so forth. And so I start asking questions because I want to know the root and the foundation of it. So I'll say, oh, okay, well, what happened then? Or how did y'all meet or whatever? And what I'll find out is that sometimes it'll be, oh, he did cheat. Right? So then I'll get on him like, oh, no, I don't want to hear that. Don't sit there and hold her accountable. But see, I'll hold guys accountable, but then I'll have the same energy and hold women accountable, but then it's a who hurt you type of thing.
Oh,
but they don't know that I've been married for 20 years.
Because number one, they don't care.
And it don't matter. They still gonna say that. Yeah.
Number one, what I have learned about this goes back to what I told you.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not ready to be corrected.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not
That
ready
is
to be
true.
corrected. A
I
lot of
get
people
that.
are not ready to be corrected about their behaviors and their actions. And the moment that you do challenge that, or you do challenge their mindset, if you're not ready to be challenged, you're going to push back, and that
Yeah.
pushback is going to be an insult. It's going to be, oh, whatever type of insult, be it sexually, be it financially, be it whatever. The first thing they love saying as soon as they don't agree with you, most time, oh, you broke,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be broke over here in my nice house and my with my
Right.
my
Right. Right.
happy family, my loving husband, and and my peaceful mindset.
But I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Everybody, most people is broke.
Yeah. But
And one way, I mean,
no, on social media,
let me
no,
tell you something. This is,
no. Everyone has the newest of everything. Everyone got it. Everyone is up, up. What are you talking
listen,
about?
even the people that get it, that get money, right?
Yeah,
They go through cycles.
yeah,
That shit don't be up 100% of the time. It be some dry spots. It be some
yeah.
situations. It
Don't
be
say.
some businesses that feel, it be shit that be happening in people's
Yeah.
life. But I don't know where this mindset came from where you can throw an insult like we all not figuring this shit out as we even social media. This shit is new. It's still relatively new and trying to
Absolutely.
figure it out, right? Before we even cut the camera on, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to A and I'm learning some things and I'm grasping it, and then I tell y'all some things and we just figuring that shit out, and we like, oh, okay, well, you know what, we need to connect on this.
Yeah.
I don't know where this insult shit come from when it comes to people not agreeing with people.
Let me tell.
That shit is wild to me.
Let me tell you where you coming up short. You are trying to apply a logical mind to an illogical mindset.
Yeah, that's true.
You're never going to understand why they do the things they do because you don't move like them.
Yeah.
You don't think like them. You don't spend your time like they do.
Mm-hmm.
These are the same people that are miserable sitting in dirty ass houses. And I'm not even being funny on some real shit.
You 100%
Sitting in
right.
dirty ass houses,
Yeah.
unmotivated, not going after anything, miserable about the fact that they had kids with the man they had kids with, miserable about the fact that they had kids with the woman they had kids with,
Yep.
don't know what they gonna do tomorrow, don't know where their next dollar coming from, and you want them to be happy?
Yeah, that's wild.
These people are miserable right now. Money is down. I told you inflation is up.
Yeah,
they ain't
I
got no
agree.
money. Ain't no money in the streets right now.
But we can get money together.
They don't know that. They don't know how to get money together. They see people like us, and they see us on their YouTubes and on their Instagrams and on their TikToks, and they see all the views and the comments, and they think that's unreachable for them.
Yeah.
They think that right there is amazing, and they are okay with being the consumer versus being the person that's creating.
Yeah. Yep.
They're okay with that.
Yep. Let me ask you another question. Let me pivot again. And you ain't got to say no names because I don't even get involved in that shit like that. But is it people that you see? Because I mean, honestly, the higher up you go or the more visibility that you get, the closer you become, or you know what I'm saying, and you start to be in the same circles, or you start to see some of the same people, right? Is it people that you see in general? And again, you don't have to name no names or nothing like that, where you be like, I just don't fuck with them. Honestly, like, is it people that you be spotting? You be like, man, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's people that I don't care for.
So what's interesting about that is it happened recently, and it's a person that I had my mind set on, like, I don't fuck with this person. And then when I met the person, I was myself. I was kind, and the person was, receptive and was friendly at the time. And recently, the person has not been friendly, and said person, I was just like, and she was mean, right?
Ah!
So I need you to understand my mindset on this. I be feeling like when I'm polite to somebody and you rude to me, like I should have just handled you the way I wanted to handle you.
No, you can't do it.
I know I can't do it, and I'm still polite. You feel me? I'm still polite. But I want you to understand that the Detroit in me be like, oh, you think I'm soft.
You know what, R? I'm going to be honest with you. I got to.
You think I'm a joke, all right? And I want to say what I want. You think I'm a hoe.
I had to, I had to take a different perspective though, because I realized, like, for me, if I don't respect you, then I might address you like publicly. and I'm gonna be, and let me tell you why. Because I come from a space where if I really wanted to get at you, then I'm not gonna say nothing about you. Because why would I want to be tied to that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with you on the
Yeah.
internet. When I see you, it's gonna be different though,
Oh, see, no,
right?
that's it. I don't want to go back and forth on the internet.
Correct. And I don't
That's why
either.
I said
And it
when
be
I
people that I'll be telling, and I recently told some people in real life, and I say, hey man, listen, you might want to just leave me alone, bro, because I am not the person that you want to. I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with
yeah,
you.
nah.
I'm not ever gonna mention you. Leave me alone. So if I'm not talking about you,
Yeah.
because and it's different, right? And I'm gonna tell you why it's different for me. If it's just on some content shit, and I ain't even talking about beef. Let's say somebody gives a take and I react to it or something like that. I'm gonna keep it 100% on the content. Oh man, they off on this one, whatever. I'm not gonna say nothing about your kids. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I ain't doing none of that. It ain't on that type of shit. I got
Yeah.
a different perspective or a different opinion from you,
Yeah.
but I don't not like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to attack you on that type of shit. But what I'm finding is that these motherfuckers think that it ain't no rules of engagement. It's
Yeah.
none of that shit.
Yeah.
Now you can say and do what you want to do when you want to do it. Okay. We gonna play it that way. And I just leave it alone at that point.
So I don't get that a lot, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't get that a lot.
Why is that?
I've done the public dragging.
Really?
Yeah, people not going. I've done the found your address. Had a not,
Yeah.
and I don't mean like no office address, like found your house
Yeah,
address.
no. Yeah,
and
yeah.
had a cease and desist sent to your house address just so you know you touchable.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't get too much of that. The only time I really got that type of hate is when I would not show my son face. After I had my baby, I wouldn't show him for a year.
Nah,
When
it
I
was
tell you they were upset about that, they're like, "You think you Beyonce? You ain't famous? Cool. Why you care then?"
listen, I seen somebody one time and I didn't even know who the fuck they was at the time. And I had got way out of character for a second, and she had to calm me down and say, "Hey, think about it." But I had seen somebody, and they was trying to, because I don't give a fuck if you say nothing about me. I'm a content creator. That's what comes
Yeah.
with it. But they had put my daughter and my wife on a cover photo, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? And I expect dumb stuff from
Yeah.
like smaller content creators or
Yeah.
whatever, but it was a more relevant, and I was like.
Yeah, no, that's
Like my first immediate thought was, hey, to make a phone call.
Yeah,
I know where
like,
you
you
live
gotta
at.
go. Yeah,
I
that's
know
the
what
first
city
thought.
you in.
Yeah.
I see you down there in Texas. That's my first thought. But then it wound up being cool, and so I'm gonna give them some credit because they did hit me up later, and it was like, hey, do you want me to remove this or whatever? Once we had a conversation.
Yeah, I want you
But
to move that fool.
but I have to remember, and I think this is the part. The reason why I'm having this conversation, or going to this part, is because I want people to remember that y'all content creators, and it's a lot of people like Taxstone and all of these dudes is locked up today. You know what I'm saying? And stuff they getting caught up. Y'all got to think y'all way through this shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't just react. You can't just go through your natural instincts of where you come from.
Yep.
Sometimes you just got to chill out and relax. But it's a weird space, just this whole content thing.
My
right
go-to
now.
thing is if I would, like I do say, most times is not a comment or anything like that can throw me off. But as a content creator, I do get thrown off in everyday life stuff. And I'll tell you, my
What you mean?
go-to, like, I don't know, like I might be annoyed by something, like today.
What?
This is funny.
What
I'm not
happened
annoyed.
today?
I'm not annoyed today, but this is funny. So after I got out of my meditation, this show that's a reality show locally, the show logo just kept popping up in my head. And me being me, because I've heard a couple things.
Uh-oh.
I made a status and said I'm going live tomorrow to talk about why they ain't reached out to me about being on this show.
I got what you're saying.
Now, mind you, I literally I don't know nothing. But I realized how much power I hold because they all started scrambling and calling me and texting me. Oh, sis, let's talk. Oh, sis.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. I
don't get reached out to.
And that's crazy to me because listen, let me tell you something. I humbly say this because when I made the status this morning, I said, what other influencer locally is married and doing what I do and influencing wise? Well, then I sit right next to one that's showing me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't get invited.
And
right?
that to me is crazy
Never.
because
And I'm cool with it though.
I'm gonna be a buck with you. I am too. And it really didn't bother me. I really just had a good time watching people scramble.
No, that's dope. But you know what? I
I
wanna
did.
ask you about that because I have such a. I am very careful. All of the people that I've had on my platform, and I had a lot of people that come through these doors from, Charleston White to Lamar Odom to Rashad McCants. I mean, a lot of different people, right? But I'm very careful about how I move as far as, with people in the city. Even though I would love to continue to do stuff and put people on and have conversations and link up, I just realized that it's still a lot of politics
Yeah. Oh,
involved in that shit.
listen.
But that's why I asked you what I asked you in the very beginning when we
Listen.
first started, though. I'm like, man, what do you think about this?
I have. I don't have a love hate relationship with my city. I love my city to life.
Me too.
I have a love hate relationship with gatekeepers
Me too.
because it's unnecessary. One of the first things you said just when we met and I asked you a question and you gave me some game, you said I'm not a gatekeeper. I said
Yeah.
instantly, this is my dog.
Yeah, because let's get this money together.
I don't understand the need to gatekeep. I don't understand the need to click up like that. Like I'm happy, I said this. I said this last year, and people were really upset by it. I'm happy that I did gain a lot of my popularity in the city, but I'm happy that nobody can from the city can be like, oh yeah, I put her on.
Yep.
I put her on. I stand on that. Can't nobody say they put me on because my books put me on.
Yeah.
My internet radio station put me on.
Yeah. You did
Even
the
when
work.
it's
100% you.
I did my 10,000 hours.
Yep.
I did my 10,000 hours.
Yep. It's
Easy.
almost like still, and again, I love the city too. And I think that the city has evolved in a very positive way.
Absolutely has.
So well. I love what's happening here right now. And then even, when the concert last week, was that last week?
Yeah.
The concert?
Yeah.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was so much love and
even the fact that the
none of
concert
that.
could happen and it wasn't no big issues at it. It was a couple of chicks
That's what
that
I'm
fought.
saying.
Wasn't nobody that
Yeah.
got shot. Nothing bad happened. That's dope. And they were all in the studio afterwards
Yep,
working.
and they
That's
worked.
sweet
I
to
just
me.
seen Big Queese and Peasy just dropped a new song together and all of that. But it's dope, right? But then I don't know if it's that same perspective. That's happening with the artists. I don't know if that's happening with the creators though.
It's not. It's not happening with the creators yet. Because being honest, a lot of the creators, even how we were just able to exchange information.
Yeah.
A lot of the creators aren't even ready for that yet. A lot of the creators that I know personally that have huge platforms are still like, oh, give me 150 for an advertising post.
Why?
Because they don't know their power. They don't know the
Why?
the
I'm gonna
power
show up
behind
on
their
your
numbers.
shit. You can show up on my shit.
They
We gonna
don't-
leverage that shit, and we
they
gonna get it
don't-
on different platforms.
They don't
I'm
know
big
that.
over here. You big over. Like, let's just figure that shit out and get this money.
A lot of people, because they have such an individualist mindset, they don't understand that. They don't even understand the power of only reason. And we can be honest. The only reason
let's be
why I
real.
understand the power of my platform is because of my background in radio.
Mm-hmm.
When I was an account executive, I was able to close $100,000 deals.
Yeah.
Selling an audience.
Yeah.
And it always was stuck in my head that I'm not selling my radio station, I'm selling the audience. I'm selling the listenership.
Correct.
These people, and it took me to have that experience or that work experience. The same way sometimes it would take you to have a college experience to understand that.
Yep.
A lot of these people that have platforms in the city really won on a whim. They're not even they're not necessarily a lot of the times we think that because you have a bunch of followers that you're a creator.
Yeah.
You might record a video, you might, put whatever out, but that don't mean you're a content creator.
Yeah.
A content creator is a business.
It is.
These people are genuinely just super consumers. How I said the other people are consumers that's just reading it. No, these are just super consumers. You're creating just so you can get read real quick.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
creating for an ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And that's
No, you
a part of the
100%
issue.
right. You're
A part of the
100%
issue
right.
is they don't necessarily understand the power behind their platform because they weren't trying to build a powerful platform for monetization reasons. They wanted to be popular.
Yeah. I see. For me, I got to figure out what the money is in that shit.
And listen, you hear me? I make good money where I'm at right now. But the first thing you told when we got to kicking it about the YT, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we about to let's pop.
Yeah,
Let's get it.
I got to figure out what the money is in that shit, and it's crazy because, like, I met some people, like it just so happened to be I run into them because The city's small. I mean, it's
In real
big,
life,
but it's
no, but the
small.
entertainment world is small.
It's
Honestly,
small. Like
yeah,
if you don't know the person or you ain't never ran into them, you one or two people removed from it,
yeah,
right?
in real life.
And so we all at the same spaces, we all in the same spots or whatever. In a general sense, you know, I try to be in a house as much as possible
I
now,
was gonna
but
say, with the exception of me, because I do not be outside.
I be trying to be. But I mean, you know, if you gonna be at like if something happened, right? Everybody gonna be at the Lions or you know what I'm saying, or know what's happening with the concert, or they gonna speak on it, or
Yeah.
you know whatever, right? And I've ran into people, and they was looking at me like, you know, I'm you know, what you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, you know, I'm a humble dude in real life, so I'm just chilling, like
When your
whatever.
birthday?
April
April.
13th.
I knew you were an Aries. When I tell you, I wanted to tell you that you were an Aries literally 10 minutes ago. When I sat here and was like, this is my dog. I wanted to tell you then. I know you were Aries. When your birthday? Beautiful. Aquarius, right? Aquarius Pisces. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
I'm
sorry.
chilling.
Y'all cool, but my favorite people are Aries.
That,
My husband's an Aries. My mama an Aries. My
oh, you
sister
an
an
Aries?
Aries.
That's what's
April
up.
11th.
Yeah, that's what's
Yep.
up.
He
Oh, his
two.
birthday right before mine.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
but I be chilling. But see, I be trying to like, cause it ain't even on. Hey, let's. Cause when I first meet somebody, I'm not on no. Hey, let's create. You know, create some content together.
No.
I'm more on some. Oh, what up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm just vibing, just chilling. Like
Absolutely.
y'all here, y'all want something to drink type shit or whatever. But it's weird because it's like. It's almost like people be thinking that they bigger than they are or something, or
Oh no,
I don't know what that
you
is.
mean the Detroit celebrity syndrome.
Yeah,
So let me
that's
break
what
that
I'm
down
talking
to you.
about.
Let
I
me
don't know what that is.
let me tell you what that is. That is not exclusive to
That's weird.
entertainers, content creators, or people that are popular. That's not exclusive to that. Detroit has a syndrome that is a double edged sword. It's really dope to me. We do not give a f about
We don't.
celebrities.
We don't.
Because in our minds, we're the
Yep,
celebrities. So
that's true.
even amongst ourselves, we're still the celebrities. So and then so let me tell you what
No,
happens
you
when
are 100%
let me
right.
tell you what happens when an actual person that has celebrity or influential power walks in. Oh, now it becomes a
A power struggle.
swinging
Yeah,
contest
yeah,
where it's like, no, let me show you I'm big dog and show you my big dog energy versus, hey, let me humbly
yeah.
talk to you and collaborate with you.
Yep.
But that describes the most Detroit of Detroit shit.
It
People
is.
in Detroit, we all think we're celebrities. We all think that we already there. But I will say to my fellow Detroiters that's listening, know when to put that on. That armor comes in handy
It
at
does.
times.
It
It does
does.
because it's a level of confidence that come with that armor.
Yeah.
But know when to put that on and know when to take it off and have conversations for your own growth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times that armor will prevent you from growing in spaces that you're destined to be in.
I had to even check myself sometimes when I see, like, when I get the energy, and it may not be what you know what I'm saying, what I thought it was gonna be. I've had to take myself back to the front of the congregation and say, man, did I give off the wrong impression or something like
Yeah.
that? Because you know what I'm saying, that ain't what I'm on. I want everybody to win. I want everybody. The more we win individually, the more we win collectively, right?
Yeah.
It ain't no shortage. I honestly, I ain't even gonna front. I think that we the best creators. We the best everything. I
I
don't
agree.
see nobody fucking with nothing that we got going on.
I agree. I wish that my goal for the city, honestly, and just for overall, I really want to start and I'm gonna say it out loud because I'm gonna do it at this point. I want to start
You
a.
know, if no, you know, if you say it out loud,
It's okay. They're not gonna do it. I want to start an influencer union,
that's what's up.
like a content creator union. I've been researching it, and I've been saying it out loud for 10 years, like in small circles. So it's okay. Starting a union is some hard work, but I think that a lot of the disconnect is the fact that, just like you said, social media is still a new lane.
It is. It's real
And
new.
if every other career path is regulated or has a set of rules to some degree, why do we think that creators don't deserve that? Why is it okay for black creators to be suppressed? Why is it okay for us to, I've known so many people that lost their platform and didn't even get the opportunity to
Yeah, that's
appeal
true.
and things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think it needs to be some type of barrier between the creators and the actual platforms, because a lot of these people, a lot of these platforms are really playing in a lot of black creators' faces for real. Like for real, for
That's
real.
a dope idea. You should do it.
So no,
But see, now
I
you
have,
have to do it
yeah,
sooner
yeah. Now I
sooner
have
rather
to. I
than
just,
later.
I'm really, so in my research, I found that you have to work with a union to start a
Oh,
union.
really?
Yeah. So now my debate is, which union do I want to keep it Detroit,
Yeah.
or do I want to take it entertainment? So that's where we're at now with it. Yeah. We'll talk more about that off camera.
Yeah, we can kick it like that. But yeah, I do think that I think that it's interesting. Um but most of the people that I don't necessarily, I'm not even gonna say I don't care for it, because even if I don't care for somebody online, I still respect them a lot, right? Because I can disagree with you, but I could see where you smart, right? I'm always looking, hey, what do they do unique? I see some people, they know how to get money in this particular space or
Yeah.
whatever. I may not necessarily agree with the message, but I'm able to separate what I think about the message versus the messenger,
Right.
and learn from them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I still respect
So you can
most
still
people.
you can still chew the meat and spit out the bone.
100%, because
Yeah, that's where
because
it's at.
I'm not gonna not get the game. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna not get whatever it is that I need to get from them, and observing them, because I see them differently than what the general audience may see them, right? So let me ask you another question, right? Because you tour a lot, you on the road a lot, and stuff like that. What don't you like about the road?
I don't always like having to fly.
Really?
Flying is a hassle sometimes.
Yeah, it can be hard on you.
But it's way more. Oh, and sometimes if I'm in the mood to cook a certain meal,
You
like,
can't do that on the road like that.
yeah, you can't do that on the road, and then it's frustrating because, like, and I know hopefully people can identify with this. You could get the meal somewhere else, but ain't nobody gonna cook the meal the way you cook
Nope.
the meal.
You're right.
You know what I'm
What
saying?
was I just
Like,
telling you last night?
if I want some fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens, and candy yams,
It ain't the
I
same.
can go to a soul food spot,
It's
but
not the
it's not
same.
gonna hit the way it hit when I cook it
Nope.
at home. You know?
And every soul food spot cook it slightly different, or different,
Greens
significantly
gonna be
different.
soggy,
Yep.
macaroni and cheese gonna be overcooked.
Yep.
So that's probably my biggest complaint. And I told you told me your son. I'm a tourist, so I'm very big on food.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
very big on food.
Yeah.
If long as we can food and we can sleep and the vibes is good, we gonna be great, honey.
What do you think about all of the? It's like a lot of news, not hot spots here, restaurants.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's
think
a
that's.
lot of them.
I'm overwhelmed by them because I want to try them all.
Yeah.
I want to go to
Oh,
all
I
of
got
them.
a question for you. I got a really good question. So recently, a lot of foodies been coming here
Oh God.
on the internet and stuff like that, right? And they've been giving a perspective on some staples and their experience and stuff. What do you think about that?
I'm with it. I'm
Yeah.
with it. Well, I think, in fact, we even got to, I'm going to say exactly what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
What we not going to do is act like Cuzzo's ain't what Cuzzo's is.
Yep, I
What
agree.
we not going to do is act like a lot
I
of
agree.
What we not, yeah, people acting like a lot of the food that Chime Time talked about, he was right.
Yeah.
Them mashed potatoes from Conant Grill was
I
instant
seen
mashed
that.
potatoes.
I seen
and
them
I
talking
am
about the,
disappointed because Conant Grill is usually good. Even
I
when
seen
he
him
talked
talking about the steak
Sweetwater.
bites and stuff like that.
And they
Yeah, I
were
seen
full
him
of
talking about
fat
that.
when he
Yeah.
talked about Sweetwater. Be a
Yeah.
buck. Sweetwater fell off years ago, bro. I've been said that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I think I will say I think Doggy Bone went too far with the whole "this my city" thing. I'm like,
Of course
you
he did.
got a little bit too much dip on your chip. I was with you till you went a little bit too. I will say
Didn't
that.
we run into him?
I will say that.
I didn't know who he was at the time, so she told me she be putting me up on a bunch of shit, but
I bet.
cause I be in my own world, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't be focused on everything, but
Yeah.
then when it started hitting my timeline and stuff, I'm like, oh, she must have mentioned that shit, and then it started popping up on my algorithm. Oh, we saw him at the airport.
You see everybody at the airport, girl.
She do. She be noticing everybody.
Now, meanwhile, me, I'm the exact opposite. It'll be freaking Barack Obama walking past me, and I'm like, la 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 la. Who is
Yeah.
that?
Last time, where was we coming from? Miami. Ran into him. And then me and who was I sitting next to? I was sitting next to Sada. So me,
That's my
Sada,
favorite rapper.
we all was in the same. Literally, it's me, him, and then Skilla.
Little bro.
Yeah, they are. We all on the same flight together. So we was all. I guess
Was it
Chime might
art?
have been
Was
on
it
there
during
too.
like Art Basel? Art Basel?
Nah, it was just recently. Yeah, it was after New Year's. So
Oh,
right
that's
after New
lit.
Year's, yeah, we was coming back because I was in Miami in a lot of December. So
I will say this about to take it back to that conversation. The particular person that and this is 100% okay because I didn't actually talk to this person. The particular person that got into it with the food critic.
what Chime?
Yeah. What I don't like about what happened was Detroit ain't never been a space of having to fit in.
I agree.
Why it take for an outsider
To
to
say
speak
something
on not liking
before you start,
somebody
yeah.
before everybody jump on the bandwagon?
Yeah, I
To
mean
drag
everybody
somebody
here
down.
knew. Everybody knew
We
what
are
Cuzzo's was. Everybody know.
no even beyond the establishments. I mean the exact person.
Oh yeah.
Once he started dragging dog and everybody started jumping on the bandwagon of dragging too,
Yeah.
I'm not with that.
I'm not either.
And be clear, dog. No, I don't even like him.
Yeah,
Okay?
but that don't got
But-
nothing to do with it.
But I stand on principle.
Right.
My principle is it ain't never took somebody else to put the battery in my back for that person to know I don't rock with them.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't. We from
Well, you know
Detroit.
how it is.
No, we
It
from
once. Listen,
That
it's a
bothered
lot
me.
of people. Look,
That bothered
but you
me.
also got to remember that it's a lot of people that's not from here that got a lot.
Oh no, I mean I'm talking specifically about the people that are from here that
yeah.
suddenly got so much to say about this person.
Yeah.
And like I just said, I don't even rock with dog. He know it, I know it.
But you're not gonna pile on
But,
when
yeah, we
when
not
somebody
doing
else
that.
come from the outside and then come in.
Yeah, we not
And now
doing
all
that.
of a sudden you got something to say about the person in particular.
That's not very Detroit.
That's corny.
That to me is very on the cob. Absolutely. So that
Yeah.
was my only thing that I didn't like. I mean, people get their karma how they get their karma. That's on them. But Detroit and we ain't never been no city that was people gotta come gas us up to actually stand up for ourselves. No, we
Yeah.
ain't never been that.
I don't have a problem with Chime saying whatever it is that he want to say about his experiences. I mean,
That's his experience.
whatever you say, like, listen, I'd rather you be authentic. The only thing that I would have a problem with, which I haven't seen from him personally, is if you come in with a bone to pick and you intentionally saying stuff that's crazy just to say stuff that's crazy. That's
think-
not what I think is happening.
I think
he
that's
get
what's
real.
happening now, though. I think what's happening now is he's dragging it because he's getting the attention.
Oh,
And it's
so
like-
he's capitalizing off of it.
Yeah, which he should.
yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
I saw
he running it
I saw
up.
somebody yesterday. He made a post that said, am I still going to the wrong spots to eat? And somebody commented to him, said, yeah, you got to go try the McDonald's on Joy Road and Southfield. It's the best one in the city. The Murder Mac.
No, they didn't send him there.
They definitely
No,
tried
they
to-
did not send him there. I hope he ain't fall for that.
I'm sure he did. Murder Mac it's not what it used to be. It's okay.
Yeah, but still, don't let nobody set you up, big dog. Don't let.
oh, they be
Oh,
all
do
right.
they?
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
right.
okay. I was about to say, dog, don't let nobody do you like that, bro. Not like that. Don't go out like that, bro. But he everywhere. And you know what the funny part is? It ain't like he hard to find.
No, and he everywhere without security. Big dog, he here by himself.
Yeah,
He good.
that's he'll be all right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he got that pew pew pew. Pew,
I
he
don't
better
know.
have
I
the
don't
pew,
think
pew,
I
pew
don't
on him.
think he got that, but he might. It ain't that deep.
I don't know.
Honestly, it
I
just
don't know if you want to show that in Detroit videos because everybody got one around here. You
yeah,
better use
I
it.
don't think it. But you know what? Honestly, it just ain't that deep. Like, okay, that's his experience. That's what it. We in a new era where look, if you start in a restaurant, you gonna have to know that it's gonna be different than what if you started one 15 years from now.
Bro,
Like,
we can take this conversation back to what I said 30 minutes ago. In order for you to receive critique,
yep,
you have to be ready
Yep.
to do it.
You great.
And
You
as
100% right.
as a whole, Detroit has never let nobody talk about the city, right or wrong,
That's
if
true.
you're not from the city.
that's true.
Detroit has to adjust, and Detroit has to understand that the spotlight that we're in now is a spotlight we had a pinch of it when they had the Super Bowl here.
Yeah, that's true.
But what we on right now is not going to be a come and go type thing like the Super Bowl was.
Yep, I agree.
Even if nothing happens beyond this point with the Lions. It took us to a space that it changed the trajectory of where we're
I agree
at.
with you
So the eyes
100%.
on the city is gonna be completely different. If you think for 1 second this gonna be the last food critic that come and say, "Oh, y'all food bad," or this gonna be the last person that comes to say, "Oh, the city look abandoned," or whatever else, y'all outside y'all mind. Get y'all lives together, get your mind together, and
Yep.
prepare. If you don't like people talking bad about the city, understand you might need to stay off social media for a couple days.
For real.
Because
That's real.
the space that we're in right now is all eyes on us. It has never been. It's all eyes on us, athletic wise, music wise,
That's true.
entertainment wise,
Yep.
housing wise, jobs.
Yep.
Michigan was like number one in housing, something like that went
Yep.
up. Detroit specifically.
Yep, you're
So
right.
in real life, like we have to adjust. I love the fact that Detroiters are so can't nobody say nothing about us but us. I love that. But if y'all want to have peace for yourselves, you gonna make that adjustment because I had
Yeah,
to.
I agree. I was just talking to Quam
Oh,
the other day. Yeah, I talk to him almost every other day or whatever. And he even aware. He like, yo, this is just the way it is. Like, people trying to find out where he live at and all of this other type of stuff and stuff like that. Cause man, he loved the city. I mean, he loved the
being a
city.
buck, even that situation. You his
But
friend.
he,
You want
but
you
no,
his
no, no.
friend.
He understand what's coming with it.
I get it. You his friend. You won't speak on it. I can. Even the whole Novi household thing. Metro Times. Let me tell you what made me angry about that. And be clear, I'll sit here and say this.
I'm gonna get my perspective.
I have not really been a openly outwardly fan of Kwame. I'm open to receiving and learning more about men so I can learn more about him. I'm not against him, but I come from a city worker
Yeah,
household.
you got your perspective.
Yeah.
100%.
That being said, going to a house
That's
to
crazy.
see if somebody lives
That's
there,
crazy.
looking at someone, and this is why we talked about what we talked about earlier in regards to content creators and influencers having to change their name on the dresses and mail and stuff like that. Going to a house to see if somebody lived there, the fact that you had the audacity
And knocked on
you
the
had the
door.
balls to go to this man's house, knock on the door, somebody told you that they don't live there, and then you got on Instagram, recorded a video, and took pictures from their Zillow listing
Yeah.
to show that the cabinets were similar. If that's not the most American thing that I have ever heard in my life, sir, they would have been within their right to do whatever to protect themselves.
It's a different time.
And you literally are making an Instagram video about it as if it's not other things to cover. Rick Snyder and all of them got away with murder. Why go knock on their doors? Why don't you go knock on the doors of the people that are actually taken from the city in the current day?
Yeah.
Kwame gonna have whatever he had. He know what he got to pay off. He know what's coming with that. That's cool. He handling his business, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But for you to sit here and
Yo, you pulled
chase
up to
this
my
man
door.
down, that's a problem. And the fact that it's that now the restitution is at 800,000 or whatever it's at.
It ain't
that
at
means
that.
even
It ain't at that.
means that means he's been paying on it.
It ain't at that.
Because
It's significantly less.
okay, so you got some quotes that I don't. In the quote in the video that I saw, he said that the restitution was still at 800,000. Even if it is at that, it's lower than what it was in the beginning, which means he's making payments. Why are you upset that this man is living his life?
Listen. These people is
Obsessive
insane.
at this point. It's genuinely obsessive at this point. And like I said, as somebody who grew up in a city worker household during that time and the crumble and whatnot, your influence from your elders definitely happened.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, I'm looking at this situation as a black person, as a black woman specifically, as a wife specifically. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish you would. Period. Period.
And people don't know. But
'Cause
see,
it's-
the motherfucker at the
and-
Metro Times is talking and shit, and he putting out this information, and he don't even got no fucking clue whatsoever.
And now when I
But
tell
he
you,
talking.
it was
He just talking.
It was very disappointing seeing that video. I actually was just on the cover of Metro Times in December.
Oh, word? That's what's
Yeah.
up.
It was
That's
just on
what's
the
up.
cover of Metro Times in December. And initially I was like, shoot, do I say something about this? But I'm happy it came up in this conversation because that really sat on me wrong. And that's the reason. What he did is
Yeah.
the reason why I am funny about how I recorded my house.
Yep.
You can't even see my dang on videos.
Yep.
Even when I post pictures of JT with the kids, it's close to my close friends because I don't even want you to even try to get the idea of how you can
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You can't find my house on Zillow. But the fact of the matter is that people will try, and that is scary
They're
to me.
100% will.
That is scary to me.
1000% will. But you know what? It's like the wild wild west out here.
It is.
Honestly, and we figuring it out as we go. Even though social media has been around for however long it's been around, we still in its infancy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't
Social
know what's
media
gonna
really
happen.
been around. Let's say it was born in 98 with AOL's chats. 98, you're not even 30 yet.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm
100%
saying? Like,
right.
so we can have a conversation of how women and men relationships are adjusting because of things that happen and rights that were given in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
That same mindset can be applied to the fact that social media is adjusting and having certain changes and whatnot. And we have to be mindful of that. And we have to be intentional about how we navigate that space.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know that stuff was as fucked up as it was when it came to people's perspectives on relationships until I really, really started like blowing up on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, wait a minute, people fucked up in real, like,
Yeah.
because in my circles, we had our issues or whatever with people that we know. You always got family and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I didn't know it was this.
Yeah. Because you know why? You come from a place of privilege.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. I agree with you.
You come from a place of privilege. Like, and I can say that as somebody that comes from a place of privilege as well. I didn't know the world was as messed up as it was until I was about 26. I was working at a school, and like I told you, I told your wife, I went to Regina. I was one of 10 black girls in my graduating class.
Yeah.
I was one of 40 black girls in my school. You feel me?
Yeah.
Maybe 30, honestly. I think that, go back to what we were saying, because I said Regina before that.
No, we was talking about social media being in its infancy, and then
There we go.
And then
I realized that because I started working in a predominantly black school.
Yeah.
And I realized that the opportunities given were not the same as the opportunities that I was given because I went to private school my whole life. And then I realized why my mom and dad were so intentional about keeping me out of certain spaces and things like that. So at 25, 26, I started to realize my privilege. And then, I got myself out of toxic situations and things like that. And I got with my husband. And then from those conversations and being in, podcasting space and whatnot, I realized that these relationships.
Up. Yeah. Out here.
And then I realized that I was getting caught up in it. I realized that
Why you say that?
Because I was playing into it. I was playing into the negativity stereotypes of the bull crap. I was even on the podcast sometimes. I would be talking about anger and it would be a situation for sure, but it wasn't applicable to my life. Why I'm so angry?
Yeah.
My husband good to me. My husband take care of me. My husband treat me like a princess. Girl, why you getting so worked up with these men because of what they ain't doing for their women? Girl, you better.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like just little stuff like that. I had to even being able to acknowledge out loud. I'm not telling you that certain things is a place of privilege because I'm like wanting to be like, hey, you. No,
I
I'm saying it out
understand what you're
loud to remind myself, hey, when you speak about certain things, even motherhood. I talk to other mothers all the time. I don't have my kids every day, especially because of touring. My mom and my dad are very much so helping to raise my son.
Yeah, you got a community.
You feel me? I know I'm talking from a place of privilege when I tell moms, oh, you guys are going to be good. Just make sure you get your shower time and your 10 minutes to yourself. You're going to be good. I know for a fact it's a place of privilege because when I got my kids for 2-3 days in a row and that shower time ain't hitting and I need 2 hours to myself. You feel me?
Yeah.
When I need that, I know it's a place of privilege. So I want people to know that it's not going to always be easy. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to always be an easy conversation. It's not going to always be easy to build the YouTube followers.
Yep.
It's not going to always be easy to have that relationship. It's not going to always be easy to have that conversation in a relationship. But it has to be done if you want to be better than where you are right now.
I agree. And it's funny that you say that because I had the best of both worlds in that, I went to public school younger, and then my father sent me to UAD Jesuit on 7 Mile, so I went to private school.
That's what's up. What year did you come out?
Well, I didn't graduate from there. I went there in middle school,
Oh, okay.
and then I went to high school at Cass Tech.
Oh, okay.
So I got to see all of it, right? All of the good, the bad, the differences, and compare all of it.
Y'all the same on that. So,
Yeah.
so he went to Montessori school for
Oh.
younger, and then
Yeah.
he
Private school.
well, Waldorf is like a private Montessori school.
Yeah.
And then he went to Catholic school, and then for
Yep.
high school he went public, and then for
Yep.
college he went to an HBCU.
Yep.
So he got like a whole my baby diverse.
So you got the whole perspective. Yeah.
He got the whole perspective on the
Yep.
educational side, and I didn't get that until I went to college, but I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, and what I want to do don't require this.
Yeah.
So I didn't. It took me getting, and I also think that the reason why I wasn't so gun ho on college is because a lot of the experience and the culture shock that people almost go to college for, I got that in high school.
Yeah. I did the same thing because I got older brothers, right? And my brothers are 6 and 7 years older than me.
Oh yeah.
By the time I hit high school, I was in a whole nother space mentally because I was used to hanging with them.
Do you have a younger brother?
Yeah, I got a brother that's 6 years younger than me.
Does he do radio?
No.
I can't remember his name. Is an associate of mine. He's married. He does radio. He used to do radio in Lansing.
Oh,
and when I
okay.
tell you y'all
Yeah.
look just alike.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his name. I can't think of his name though.
He took the
I
same
think his
path
wife
as
name.
me.
I think his wife name is like Coy or something like that.
Nah, my brother is married though, but yeah, he all of us. It's so trip. And again, that's what I was saying. Like me, all three of my brothers, because I ain't got no sisters. All of us is married.
Ain't it a blessing? It's like no.
No, for real. We all married. We been married because I got married when I was 22 years old.
I was applying that to the no sisters.
No, I know
part.
what you're saying. Yeah. But we all been married. We all got married young.
Okay.
None of us ever got
And
divorced.
successful in it.
I ain't
Your
never
parents
known that.
They did their thing.
My parents, they stayed married the whole time. It was great. All 9 of my uncles is married. They never got divorced. So I don't know that shit.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
I don't come from that environment.
I need you,
You know
to
what I'm saying?
understand. I need you to understand when I say you are the exception.
It's weird.
You are like you actually surpass me in the exception that you are, because in my family, my parents are the only married couple.
Really?
Yes. And I think that matters, and that has a big that's a big factor in how you view marriage, in how you view partnership,
Yeah.
in how you show up in marriage, and how you show up with your partner for real.
I don't think that I could get married again.
Of course not. You come from a space of you give your all to your mate.
Correct.
You come from a space of
100%.
you show up for your family, you protect your family. You were raised around real men that gave you a solid foundation. You are literally 1 in 1,500.
Yeah, I don't think that I could ever.
I need you to. Like,
ever
I hope
do
you,
that again.
I hope you understand that, because these.
No, we get it.
these
I'd have known
people-
her since 9th grade,
That's lit.
but we wasn't talking in high school. That was just my homie.
Okay.
She was the girl I was telling her about all of the girls.
Okay.
So then, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until after we had left off, you know what I'm saying? She went to school. I was doing my thing. I was grinding and hustling and working or whatever. And, my mom was like, hey, you remember her? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And so I was like, yeah. And so we just kind of reconnected. And it just went from there. And then I was like, fuck that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? You mine forever. That's it. So
And you were 22.
we got married when I was 22 years old. And I've been married for 19 years. It'll be 20 years this year.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, so give me three tips.
For marriage, okay.
Three
So
tips on marriage from a man's point of view, on things that I can do to show up for my husband in marriage.
So these are the 3 things that I've always said, right?
Okay.
Number 1, we focus 98, 99% of our time on the things that we care about, and 1% of our energy on the things that we don't.
Okay.
Meaning that I'm not going to spend time trying to change you into something that you're not. I want to focus 100% of my energy on the thing that I like about you.
Okay.
Because I'm grinding, I'm hustling, I'm working all day, I'm doing whatever it is that I do. So when I connect with you, I want you. It's almost like people that you haven't seen, or family members, right? If you live with them a lot of times, you will develop some stuff that you don't care about. But when I see my mom, when me and my mom, lived together, we were good, and I love and I respected my mom, but I adore seeing my mom now because I haven't seen her, and it's like, oh my God, like I'm gonna focus all of my energy on the thing that I love about you, and very little energy on something that I don't care about.
Okay.
That's number one. The second thing is, and see, these are things that people think is so wild or whatever. The second thing is we don't argue ever.
Okay.
Zero argue. Because I think that it's a difference between arguing, debating, and communication. Communication is me listening to you and actually taking into consideration what you're saying, and then her vice versa. And I may not disagree with you, but that don't mean that I have to get out of character in order to do so. You know what I'm saying? So that's the second thing. The third thing, I don't think it applies to you. So everything that I'm saying, I can't say that I would apply it to you, but this is in general. I got to give you two more things. The third thing is keep your shit that happened in your house between the person that you with.
Period.
Stop telling your fucking mama, your homegirls, every single thing that happens inside of your relationship.
Agreed.
Because when you get done liking him, they gonna still be looking at him like, I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And it creates a toxic situation. And then third, here's the third thing, and you might disagree with this one. My purpose is not her.
I don't disagree with that at all.
It's not her. Like, my purpose is my purpose. And let me add a caveat to this. I want you to have your own life. I don't want you to be 100% about me. Now, that don't mean that you can't be, that we not working together, that we not one.
Yeah, no, but you have your own hobbies and have your
You
own
need to have your own life.
Absolutely.
Right? She travels without me. You know what I'm saying? She travel with me because she work. You know what I'm saying? We work together and all of that too. But she may say, hey, I want to go and hang out with my mom over in this, down here, or go visit my grandma down in Florida, whatever. I'm like, hey, go do your thing. Have fun.
Yeah.
You can't be so controlling, guys, that's watching this, to where you don't give them freedom to do what they want to do when they want to do it. I don't have no, you know what I'm saying? She is her own individual. I ain't trying to change her. She might wake up tomorrow and say, I want to do this crazy hairstyle or something. I don't give a fuck. Like, I ain't got time to be focusing on the little small stupid stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that I'm going to focus on, because when you at the end of the road, and I found this out when my father passed away in 2017 from an accident, and it's cool. Life happens to everybody. You don't think about all of the shit that don't matter. None of that's all of these little arguments that people have, all of these little disagreements and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't think about that shit.
You view life differently than a lot of people probably.
Yeah, I want to be present in the moment.
Yeah, you appreciate
Like
that.
when you there, when you with your person or whatever that is, I don't think about anything that's happening outside of what it is that I got going on right there, right now with that person. So when we there, everything is going to be times 10. It's going to be the love making is times 10. It's going to be the food going to taste 10 times better because I'm completely disconnected from anything except for what it is that I got going on with you at that moment. So I don't get a lot of time to spend with you because I'm grinding. But the time that I'm going to spend with you, that shit going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So that's how I focus. That's how we do it. It's like, yo, let's have a fucking good time.
Yeah. That's real.
Let's have a ball. Go and do what you want to do. Go have some fun. Go. Life is too short to be focused on this stupid stuff.
That's real.
And people are so busy trying to change people into being what they want them to be.
Versus who they are.
Yeah, and just appreciate what it is that they have. I look at her talents and I say, hey, you unique in this way, or you this, or you can see this differently. I'm trying to leverage her.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to contain her. I ain't trying to prevent her from being out there. I'm trying to figure out how I can give you more, you know what I'm saying, visibility or visibility into what it is that we need to do so that you can really exponentially multiply what's great about you.
Yeah.
Because the happier you are, the happier you are with me.
Yep. The happier you are, the happier we are.
Yeah, so I think that people need to fix themselves before they start to try to fix other people.
Oh.
Because that's going to be a very difficult situation. You already have a difficult enough time trying to merge personalities, lives. We don't have no rules. We got multiple places here. I just got a place Downtown. It opened up next month at Joe Louis, where the former Joe Louis Arena part at. They just built. We got different places all over the place. We date. I believe that dating don't start until you get married.
That's real.
Because you put your best foot forward when you just meet the person, but then you get comfortable after y'all get together. So for me, it's like, nah, I'm in the mindset that it's a competition. Like, I want you to see the best of me. I don't get comfortable ever. I never get comfortable ever.
That's
You
interesting.
got to see the best of me. Like,
My husband said that last week,
did he?
and yeah,
That's what's
he
up.
did. And I was just like, initially I took it as a joke because of where it came from in this video of this guy talking, and he was like, I don't fart in front of my girl. My girl she gonna see the best of me, and da da da. So initially when he said it, I took it as a joke, and I was
Yeah, yeah.
like, baby, you can fart in front of me. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
And but then he dove deeper into the conversation. Dove deeper, one or two. He took a deeper route into the conversation, and I was like, oh no, like you really are looking
I'm
to
like
show
that.
up as your best self, and
100%.
want me to show up as my best self in all
100%.
ways, emotionally, mentally, spiritually,
Yep.
financially. Like he literally, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my husband. And
I
I would
love
not
that
be where
though.
I am if it wasn't for I was literally, I was an East Side chick sitting back hustling. Like even how I was maneuvering with my radio station, I was making very good money,
Yeah.
but it was still a hustle.
It's always a
You feel
hustle.
me?
Yep.
He came and really like put like a legitimate stamp to it. Like everything is on paper. All the accounting stuff is handled properly.
I could tell just from when I first met him.
Even the vision. Like when we first got back together, JT told me you're gonna be an international touring influencer and creator that's a household name. You're gonna have a TV show that's gonna make you basically a daily household name.
You know how I know he a real one? Because he ain't even tripping about being in front of the camera.
Oh no,
He's so focused on you
yeah, no, he
and
prefers not to
bigging you
be.
up.
Yeah,
But see, that's what I'm saying. It ain't no rules to this shit. It's what wins.
yeah. And what works for your individual household. Someone on our pod, I'll say Trip. Trip gave us a really good compliment. A couple months ago, we were out of town. I don't remember where we were exactly, but he was saying that a lot of the issue within our community is we're constantly trying to live up to the standard of the white gaze and the white standard. So a lot of the times when men call women masculine, it's because they're actually comparing black women to white women in that mode and kind of picking apart that black woman.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned how a lot of the times in relationships we're trying to show up and mimic what that Christian ideal, aka that white
Yeah, yeah,
gaze
yeah.
still.
Yep.
And he said that he really likes the way that our marriage, and he can tell the way our marriage runs, that we are what a black marriage is what it really looks like. Like from the outside looking in, you might think that, oh, I have a dominant personality and I might be in charge and run shit. But if you really pay attention to how we move and how we handle business, you know who in charge.
I don't think that though. That's not the impression that I got.
Yeah, because you probably read the situation right. But people that, let's say somebody that doesn't know me personally or can't get to kick it with me like this, and they're just seeing a clip of me, yo, fucked up ass mama.
Yeah.
You gonna
But I'm
you
but
gonna
I, but
probably you probably gonna assume
I think
that.
I think that there's plenty of women I see. She got that shit. Like
Oh yeah, I can tell.
when it come to business, like when she dealing with people or say one of these people or whatever, they they ain't paid their bill or something like that. And they think it'd be me because all they do is they emailing me, but they really don't know that they talking to her. She a bulldog when it come to that shit.
Period.
But it don't mean that she not feminine when she with me.
That's the once again that's the you have to be able to in that person's environment to
Yeah.
experience that.
Yep.
If we keep seeing videos of a man particularly talking down on women, when you see him with a woman, what you gonna think? He running over there. Oh, he running her over for sure. You feel me? So it's the same thing. If you see a woman that's in a certain space and it's constantly looking aggressive, and you see this laid back gentleman and you don't have a conversation with him, you're gonna assume he's quiet. Oh, she running over him. It's the same thing.
Yeah. No, I got a different impression when I met y'all.
I love that. Thank you.
I mean, I don't take you like that. When I go through your stuff or when I went through your profile and stuff like that, I didn't That wasn't the translation that I got.
It's not the translation that I get either, but that's the. I think that when people get to know you in a certain space, it's hard for them to accept that you're not in that space.
Yeah.
So even like when I first started making content, that was going viral, it was girl, you don't deserve to be with no dude like that. Like, get you a dude that's gonna take care of you, help you out. You know, y'all can be good partners and da 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 da. I really wasn't making content for other people. I was talking to myself. This is before I got married, before I
That's
got with
what's
my
up.
husband.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my followers honestly had a toxic bond, a toxic relationship bond because it was really more so me validating their victimhood, and helping them to keep their wounds open versus healing.
But I don't know if that's it though.
But that initially it was for sure because that's what I was doing to
Well,
myself.
but you talking based off of how you seeing or you talking to yourself. If they stick with you over a period of time, then they're supposed to see you evolve, and that's where they grow with you, though, right?
Not back to the initial conversation. You only can grow when you're ready.
That's true.
So if I have these
That's true.
followers that's been with me before I got married, before I had this baby, before I got this mindset that I have, before I intentionally started to grow, I've had plenty of people like, I miss your old videos. Well, scroll back, baby.
Yeah, they say the same thing to me.
I don't have that energy no more.
They say the
You
same
miss
thing
me
to me.
being broken. You miss me being in a place where I honestly barely liked myself and was just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I hope 34, 35-year-old Randy don't have the same conversations as 27, 28-year-old Randy. Then I'm not doing the work.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing the work that I talk about and applied it to my life. And that's obviously showing because look at the growth.
Yeah, I agree.
But people that's if you're not ready for that, if you're not ready to apply it, if you constantly want that same old message, at that point you want somebody to hold your hand and coddle you through this situation. You're not trying to heal, you're not trying to be better. And I don't have the capacity for people like that, follower or not. Thank you for being here though.
Okay, so hold on. Well, first, let me tell y'all, I promise y'all this is not going to be the last time that I have her here. Whatever it is that I got to do to get her back here is what I'm going to do.
Let's get it.
All right, I got two questions for you. Two more questions.
Okay.
The first question that I have is, if you had to tell women the current version of you, right, based off of your growth and how you've evolved, even as a result of the messages that you've been giving out on social media and stuff like that, if you had to speak to women today to give them any advice as to how it is that they can evolve into being a woman that they supposed to be for the person that they supposed to be with, what would you tell them? Because, and let me preface this by saying this too, whoever it is that they supposed to be with, they out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they may be working on themselves and getting themselves and preparing for who they are, who they're gonna be with too. What is it that they need to do, or what is it in your opinion, based off of your life experiences, do you think that they need to focus on to put themselves in the best space possible to have the best relationship once they meet their person?
Let me tell you a story. I've always loved Wendy Williams. I don't necessarily love what she represents, but as far as her career, I can respect it. You know how you said you can respect people, you can learn from them and respect because you know
She did her thing,
yeah.
especially as a host. Yeah, absolutely.
Throughout my 20s, I always watched her show and I paid attention to her energy a lot whenever the conversation would come up about relationships. And Wendy Williams always promoted for women to not try to take relationships seriously until they're 29 or 30. Not to have kids until they're 29 or 30. Now, if you pay attention to what I just said, it was always a level of regret in her voice when she said it. Wendy was married with a child before she was 30. I always paid attention to that. I always did. So what I teach is, I won't give you an age, but I will say your 20s are very important for you and your foundation. A lot of the times, the disconnect between men and women is men are focused on building themselves up, and a woman is looking to chase or build a man up. If you take that same energy that you're trying to give him and give it to yourself, your own hobbies, your own interests, your own education and career, you're going to be a much better prepared partner when that time comes. And you're probably going to cut out all of the bullcrap people that don't really align with you if you focus on being the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Through education, career, experience, building your friendship bonds, working out, please get a good workout routine in your 20s. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I think that a lot I think that that's it. I think that a lot of the times women spend a lot of their 20s pouring into the wrong partner. I did for a very long time because I felt like that was my karma. We'll talk about that at a later date.
Yeah.
So I'll say that I'll leave that there. You prepare for your prepare to be a best partner by preparing yourself to be the best version of yourself, and that looks like learning how to be critiqued. That looks like learning conflict resolution outside of relationships, because that needs to, outside of sexual relationships, because that needs to be applicable everywhere. And that also just look like showing up properly, seeing how you show up for your friends, how you show up for these people, and what you like. A lot of the times we meet people in these dating situations, we romanticize what could be, what might be, and how great this person would be. Or you're writing your name with that person's last name like we in high school and stuff again. And now you didn't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
You don't know if you like this person for real. And we can get a little bit more gutted with it and say, you don't even know at 20, 21, 22, you don't really know what you like in the bedroom yet for real. Most of y'all, you ain't even doing it right. Y'all just out here doing it. So you get a taste of this one person. You get a taste of this one person on a date that's probably giving you a representative. And now your nose wide open. Versus you take a couple dates, have a dating phase, date people, get to know them. Because when you do that, you get to say, oh, okay, I don't like when someone's like this, or I do like when someone's like this. I'm looking for my person to show up in this way, especially for our community, because a lot of us don't have healthy experiences or healthy mentors when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what you're looking for real, outside of, oh, I think he's cute. And that's where you're coming up short. So you waste years on, oh, I thought he was cute, or I thought he was cute, or I thought he was cute. No, just continue to build yourself up, and I promise you the right partner is going to be there.
All right, I like that. All right, and my second question, my last question is, when are you going to dedicate more time to your YouTube channel than you are to Instagram and
I'm
stuff?
listen, I'm happy that we sitting here kicking it, because
Because I'm going to hold you to it.
Listen, I feel like I need you to understand something. I am a praying and manifesting machine.
Yeah.
At the top of the year, I made me a vision board. My vision board's on my phone. My husband has my phones. I made a list of things that I wanted to do as far as expansions. I made a list of people that I wanted to interview. 3 of those people have already confirmed interviews.
That's
I didn't
what's
even have
up.
to reach out to
I
them.
like that.
You feel me? One of which was our governor. The governor's office reached out to me.
That's what's up.
You feel me?
I seen you
So
mention
it's
Big
like-
Rich the other day.
Yeah, we had a co-post on Instagram. You feel me? It was cute.
Yeah.
But and I feel like I told you, like I'm I don't know if you're into Zodiac, but I'm a Taurus. I'm a creature of habit.
Okay.
I do what I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I'm very comfortable in the realm that I'm in because I succeed there. But if I have a mentor in the space that can show me certain things and show me how to advance in certain spaces, I'm with that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I asked God for someone and for help with that side of things. I literally, my husband will tell you, literally,
That's what's up.
asked God for that. So for this situation to be happening, I just want to know if you were ready to take on a new little sister / mentee.
Yeah, I got you.
That's
100%.
where we at with it. You feel me?
I got you. If
'Cause
you need anything, all y'all got to do is just let me know. I got y'all back.
I appreciate that.
I want y'all to win, because I think that you are a great representation of the city. I think you're a great representation for women. I love the fact that how y'all move, and it don't hurt me for you to win.
Amen. Cause
Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I saw a situation, Instagram video where a young lady had 2 lighters and one lighter wouldn't work. Like she kept trying to strike it and it wouldn't work. So then she took the other lighter and was like, "Look, it worked, right?" So then she took that lighter and lit
the
that
other
lighter.
one.
And she was like, "Look, this one's still lit. This one's still going. This one ain't got no issue or nothing. And this other lighter was lit. We can all be lit together.
Yeah, I'm
and
with
then we
that.
can all shine. I'm here for it."
I think that you gonna be much bigger. I think that your potential and what you are to become is gonna be way bigger than where you are right now.
I received that.
And so I just want you to make sure that you planning for who you are to become, instead of focusing on where you at right now. You
I
know what I'm
received
saying?
that.
Because I think that you got it. I know you got it.
I really do receive that. Thank you.
So listen, y'all. This is what I know. I'm gonna make sure that by any means necessary, that I'm gonna get her back on a platform, and anything that she need in order to continue to be successful, I got her back. All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You want to let anybody know anything before we get up out of here?
Listen, you guys can follow me everywhere at Randy Rosario.
Yeah. And I'm putting all of her information inside of the description too. So y'all
Okay.
can just click the link. It'll be easier for y'all to find her. But go ahead.
All my books are on Amazon. My Good Day Goals Execution and Planning Workbook is one of my favorites. If you're looking to set a goal, if you're just in a tough spot right now and you're looking to reset, in that book I give you guys just information and ways to work through it. I tell you how I work through addiction. I tell you how I work through a lack of boundaries. I tell you how I work through just honestly having a broken mindset. So Good Day Goals Planning and Execution Workbook. And my book Co-Parent Like a Boss. I have a book with my husband's baby mom, my oldest two
That's
kids,
what's up.
and
Oh, we got to get into that on the next one.
yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, we have a book basically about the ups and downs of co-parenting, and it gives you the perspective of the wife and baby mama. I hate that term, but it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it gives you both perspectives, and I think that we've gotten such great feedback about that, about how helpful it's been for families and things like that. So,
That's
yep,
dope.
those are the main two books that we have. We have mantra books, all type of stuff. It's fun. It's a lot of
Yep.
fun.
Listen, y'all. I'm very, very much appreciative of her coming through. Her husband, he a real one. Of what
The
I'm saying,
realest.
making sure that she came through as far as what I'm saying, hooking up and linking up and all of that. And so I'm very, very much looking forward to her growth, her success. We pray for her to have success. We
Amen.
pray for them to have success together collectively and
Amen.
individually. And I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it. I'm thankful. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get her back on here. I'm out. Peace.